Hi y'all, welcome to another WordPress Wednesday. My name is Corey Ashton, and today I'm going to walk you through a little bit more advanced stuff on the Revolution slider. Thank you so much to everybody who kind of blew up our comment box on the first video we did regarding the basics of Revolution slider. If you have not seen that video, please stop for a second. I'll put the link right here so you can go check that out. I'll also throw it in the description box below. Please stop, go watch that video. It will teach you how to install the Rev slider and how to do some basic things on it. Today, I want to keep the video less than 10 minutes, walk you through a couple other things that you might not know were possibilities inside of the Rev slider. So let's slide down here. I've already obviously installed Rev slider, and I've got, so I'm going to be in my dashboard area here. On the left side of your navigation inside of WordPress, you'll have a Revolution slider link. Click there and you should see a screen like this. I am currently doing this in the most recent version of Rev Slider 4.6.9. If you're looking at this a little bit later on down the road, a couple of months or even a few years, you may or may not have a totally different view here. More than likely you may. So the functionality though should be pretty much the same. So I'm going to go into an existing slideshow that I've already created and let you see kind of the different settings here that are options that you may not know even exist that you can address. You have the ability to set a fixed size, or you have the ability to allow it to be auto-responsive. Obviously now with the notice of Google saying that your website needs to be responsive, you'll probably want to be sure, you'll want to go back in all your slideshows and be sure that it is set to auto-responsive, all right? And that just means that it's going to slide, ebb and flow with whatever device is viewing your website or specifically this slideshow, okay? It's a really great user experience. You also have the ability though to set a different height, which I think sometimes is important because at times by default the slideshow is a little bit short. And so if you have a taller image and you kind of need to fit it all in there instead of shrinking the image down, you can kind of adjust the grid height here and maybe set it to a 450. All right? And then you just want to click Save Settings. I'll bring you back here to this area in just a minute and show you a few more things, but for now I want to go into our slides. The first tutorial I did, I was using a large background image. For this specific tutorial, I want to actually use just a solid color. One thing that you're going to realize is if you put 4 or 5 slides in one slideshow with really large images, your load time on that page is going to drastically start to be sluggish. So I want to challenge you to either optimize all your images really, really well, keep your slideshow down to maybe at the max 3 slides, right? You really don't want people sitting there for a long time watching a rotating slideshow. And typically anything you put on slide 3, 4, and 5 are not going to be seen anyway. People are moving on into your website. They're not going to sit there and watch that whole darn slideshow. So what I want you to do is use this plugin responsibly, all right? And be sure that your website still loads quickly and that users have a really great experience even with this great plugin happening on your website. So for this particular tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and click Edit Slide. I have selected black as my background color for this particular slide. So normally in the last tutorial I did a big image back here. Now I have selected a solid color and given it black, the RGB color there of black. And so now, again, the last tutorial I taught you about these lines. That's kind of the guidelines of where you want to stay to keep your content inside of them. So because this is Fiesta time here in San Antonio, April, if you've never been down to Fiesta during April here in San Antonio, you're missing out. There's all sorts of fun stuff going on. I'm going to do a Fiesta themed slide here really quickly. So I'm just going to add an image layer here. I've already uploaded my images to my gallery that I want to use, and I'm just going to click Insert. So again, I want to kind of adjust this, move this around, and if it's too large for my space and I want to shrink it down just a little bit, I want you to hold down your Shift button on your keyboard and grab one of the dots in the far top corner or bottom corner. And if you hold it down and hold the Shift button at the same time and drag your image, it'll keep It'll keep the dimensions of the width and height. It'll keep it consistent and not allow it to distort. So that's perfect. Now that's a nice size. I'm going to slide it over here a little bit to the right and kind of snug it up to my border there. Perfect. And now I want to bring in another layer, right? That's just my first layer. So I'm going to add another image layer. And I'm going to bring in a little logo here that happens to be a PNG file, meaning it has no background on it. So that can sit right here. Kind of like that. That looks nice. But what if we go ahead and kick it a little bit, like make it a little bit, you know, angled? I don't have to do that in Photoshop. It's got this really cool little icon right here that I can just grab that corner and kind of pop it up a little bit. Slide it over here. I like that. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to slide this a little bit over here, bring this a little bit over here. Very cool. I'm liking all that. All right, well, what if I want to go ahead and add the date? Because this particular image that I found using Google search image, which is not the best way to do this, I want to go ahead and add in 2015 because that's the year that we're having Fiesta. So I'm going to go ahead and click Add New Layer here. And of course, just like last time in the last tutorial, that's going to give me some text that I don't really like the look of. So I'm going to go ahead and change that text. I'm going to say 2015, and I don't want it to be black. I want it to be white. So as I scroll down through here, I can see some of the different samples, and there's a nice large bold white. Very cool. And I want to go ahead and kick that up as well, angle that to kind of sit up underneath here. I like that. That looks pretty good. Let's do that, and maybe I want it to even be a little bit larger than that. So let's edit the style. And remember, you can drag the size here and make it as grandiose as we want there. And I'm going to click you know what? While we're here, let's go ahead and change the font and make it a little playful. Y'all are going to shoot me and probably give me all sorts of bad comments on the on this video, but I'm going to use Comic Sans, and you're going to see how playful it is. Don't shoot me now, all right? Comic Sans, let's do it. I'm going to save change. Remember that it asks you, do you want to overwrite this universally across all your slides, or do you just want to save this as a potential new class? And I'm going to save as, because I'm sure nobody else is ever going to want to use this, as large comic. Save as new. All right, there it is. Very nice. So did you also know that there's a feature over here? I'm going to move myself out of the way because that's where we're going. Over here on the right side that has a little magnifying glass. That if you click on that, it'll pop up and show you what your slideshow looks like. How cool is that? So that's the first slide there. I get to see that it's got my 2015 underneath it. Very nice. So I'll go ahead and take that down. But maybe I want Fiesta to fly in, or the dancers to fly in. So how do we set a little bit of animation to this? Let's have some fun. I'm going to click on whatever layer I want to fly in. So I'm going to have the ladies here fly in from the right side. So I'm going to scroll down to Layer Animation, and I'm going to say come in short from the right. And notice right up here it's giving me a little preview of what I'm selecting, right? And then I'm going to say, I like that, I like that. And then I'm going to come up here and select Fiesta, and I'm going to tell it to be long from the left, flying that way. And then I'm going to say I want my 2015 to do something fun as well. I'm going to select it here and tell it to come short from left, really zip in. All right. And let's see what that looks like. Let's do a review really quickly. Preview. All right, that all kind of flew in fun together. But what if I want maybe the 2015 to kind of fly in a little bit after it? We can actually delay the start of these right here. We're seeing the different layers. I have image 1, image 2, and then my 2015 text layer that I have here. I can tell it maybe I want it to fly in at 800. So watch this. So you see it kind of landed last. If we wanted even more of a delay, obviously we can go ahead and maybe put in 1200 and have it fly in even more so delayed. There you go. That's kind of cool, fun. That's how you do all sorts of really cool different layering effects inside of the Rev slider. You can really have a lot of fun, get creative. You don't have to have a really robust video program to create some really fun animated movement happening on your website. I hope you're having a great day, and again, if you're anywhere near San Antonio, Texas during April, come check out Fiesta. Super fun and beautiful time. Have a great one, y'all. Bye-bye.